Hello there, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to Good Game of Fun. This is me, THP, talking to you guys once again with pretty much a set of super duper belated videos because of Thanksgiving break. I had since Wednesday off, but I had to go and celebrate and spend time with the family since Thursday. So yeah, all of these anime episodes for Senran Kagura, JoJo, Ace Attorney, they all came out, within like Friday, Saturday. Friday and Saturday, and I wasn't at home during that time, so I wasn't able to react to any of those things, or to record my reaction to it. Better said, because I did watch all of these episodes, so this is not gonna happen every time. This is gonna happen just this once, where we are going to have a second viewing of a particular anime episode. This is Senran Kagura Shinovi Master episode 7 called We'll Meet Again. And let me tell you already, just right from the get-go, I loved this episode. So, if you guys were expecting like this big awesome fight between Fubuki and Yumi, get out. Because just judging from all of the other episodes that we have seen in the past, you should already expect the fights to last like 4 seconds and don't really amount to anything interesting. The fights themselves, and all they do is just kind of serve for a bit of a hint or a teaser for what's going to come in the next episode. It's kind of like the preview before the preview. The big chunk of the episode is a lot of backstory, there's a lot of lore, and so I thought it was all really interesting. I feel like all of the story that they didn't provide for us in this whole like first half of the series, we're just barely getting it now. So we'll see that, and I will continue to talk right after this episode begins, because we have some time here with the intro, and if I run my mouth already here from the beginning, I'm not gonna have anything to talk about during all those empty bits. But yeah, hopefully with the second viewing of this particular episode, I'll be able to catch some details, or maybe take some time more to talk about other stuff now that I know what's going to happen. I can just point out other things rather than just, quietly just waiting, and seeing what happens. But anyway, as always, you sync up with me in 3, 2, 1, play, right? On play, you guys press play as well. So 3, 2, 1, play. And I'm sure you guys have noticed already, but I came back from my hometown with a haircut, fully shaved. I did all of my hygiene. It was a lot cheaper to pay for haircuts and stuff back in my hometown rather than here in San Diego, which is expensive as hell, like $20 for a haircut. And where I go, it's like $5. It's like nothing. Yeah, I did everything. I was born anew. But yeah, I'm ready to get back to making videos and stuff. I know I'm super behind on videos as well, so. But yeah, they're just getting us all hyped for this battle. Fubuki versus Yumi. Whew. That's a very JoJo-ish kind of pose right there. Justice of the Moon, yes. Oh! A black fan. This is the part where she transforms and looks like how she does in Yule Link. It is a little odd to see her with all of those bands all over her body, considering how we've seen her in Yule Link already, wearing her regular ass, black dress. But yeah, here's the opening. So I've seen the preview, I've seen everything, so I know what's going on. But maybe now, as I look at it again, I'll be able to realize other things, or point out other small details, because obviously, like, I get excited over this. I really wish that I had recorded my reaction, but I was out of town. I didn't have my recording software or my equipment or anything like that. I didn't even bring my camera or nothing. I could have at the very least brought my DSLR and just recorded myself, right, watching it, and then just edit in the the footage or whatever later on, or the subtitles, I guess, like how I'm doing it right now. But the way that I do it with the Stream Deck, I really don't have to edit or anything, I have all of the screens and everything just already set up, right? All I just have to do is hit record and do it. The only problem is that if I want to, like, just upload the video as is with no editing, I'm not allowed to screw up, I can't, like, just stop and pause awkwardly and be like, okay, take 2, like, I can't. Because if I do that even once, that means I have to go and edit the video and render it and upload it. And if I'm going to do that, then what the fuck's the point of this whole setup, right? Just, recording my webcam and then just edit and everything later, right? If I'm gonna do any editing. So either I do this perfectly or I don't. But anyway, we'll meet again. Number 7. Kagura's having a good time. She's just observing like it's fucking Piccolo in Dragon Ball. It's Kagura. Of course she knows about Kurokage. Hanzo's partner. Rumors from where? They were really stupid. Yes. I guess that's one way to put it. Stupid but pure, so like every single shonen protagonist in the world. Really, really stupid but very pure-hearted. So this is the part that I love. I was not expecting this at all. But we're actually getting a flashback episode of Kurokage and Hanzo. Not only do we get to see what Kurokage looks like, we get to see how both Kurokage and Hanzo look like when they're young. Oh my god, I love this. In the games, it's all like hidden. Like you can't see them at all. And here, they're just flat out, fully voice acted and everything. So the guy in the left is Hanzo, guy in the right is Kurokage. You know that they're really getting deep into the story when they have male characters. You know, from there we know, like, okay, no fan service, no nothing. We're getting hardcore story. This is exactly what I wanted. And now, we're seeing Kurokage play the harmonica. So if you guys were wondering, like I was saying in previous episodes, that the harmonica feels a little out of place in a lot of these segments. It's very unusual to have this kind of music in Senran Kagura. But now that we know that that entire time was Kurokage playing the harmonica, or like the memory of him playing the harmonica, then that, okay, it kind of recontextualizes the previous episodes. And there we go, girl with big boobies is here. Yume, who looks exactly like Yumi. So, just take a wild fucking guess who this is. So we're really getting a lot of detail here. So we're getting Yumi's grandpa, Yumi's grandma, and Hanzo when he was young. Cheers. So Hanzo's really friendly, like truly really nice. And Kurokage's just really distant with everybody. And there we go. Hanzo's just exposing Kurokage right now. Hey, you're dating. I'm a ninja. I know everything. Hey, look at Hanzo being a good wingman. He doesn't even mind. Weren't Kurokage and Hanzo like fighting over Sayuri at some point? But I guess Kurokage found Yume, which means that Sayuri is left for Hanzo for the taking, I guess. And so now we see the ideologies kind of clashing here, right? If they get you, get them back. Here we go. Yeah, he thinks that, you know, we're justice, so we have the higher moral ground, right? So we should just, like, go and fuck them over in the same way that they did to us. You know, it's only fair. And everyone else is saying, like, no, like, hatred is just going to, you know, breed more hatred. If it goes too far, it becomes evil. That's exactly the same shit that I've been saying the whole time. Becoming so good that you become evil. Yume, why do you like this guy? I mean, it's very obvious that the two of them get together, have a kid, and then that kid has kids, and that's where Yumi comes in. Parents killed by evil ninjas? God. Is everybody from fucking Gessen, like, just people that have dead parents via evil shinobi? I really want to know who these evil shinobi actually are, because the only evil shinobi that we know are Hebijo, and they're really not that bad, you know? I want to see, like, some actual, like, ruthlessly evil shinobi to actually, like, have these people's perspectives be justified. That's the evil harmonica that you hear before death. Yeah, these generic mafia dudes. Yakuza, I guess. Yeah, sure. You're evil. I just wanted to let you know that before I actually kill you ruthlessly. Oh, that's gonna fucking come back and hit him. I think that's what happens. Yeah, boop. You think you can get away with it? Yep. And this is a big one. The black fan that Fubuki just broke out belonged to Kurokage. But then the white one, yeah, there we go, immediately. If you didn't get it, they immediately just show it. The black weapon. The black fan. Yeah, but Kurokage also got the white one that he gave to Yumi, so. You know, during this whole fight, you could, like, go get some pants or something. Not that I want you to, but you know. And the kind of sort of fight begins now. Boop. Alright. Now the fight of the still images begins. I mean, look, it's animated. It could be a lot worse, for sure. You know? All right, now I keep forgetting that this is a thing. Yeah, so the Yoma talks. The things that sounded like words. But no, they actually legit are words. The same intelligence as a person. Well, you know, just like how the Phantom Menace says, you know, the ability to speak doesn't mean that you're intelligent, but she certainly seems confident in her abilities. That must be very uncomfortable to have a third eye here and a horn right next to it. Now, how are you gonna fight this thing? I'm gonna piss myself. I forgot about that. Alright, she's gonna attack first. And they're already fucked. She's really not doing a whole lot of damage. But her and her dark energy from the darkness. Kingdom Hearts style. Taking over the light. That doesn't look black at all. Why do I feel like you're lying to me? That's neither black nor icy enough to defeat me. Just like that. I don't care. Get that shit out of here. She hasn't even transformed yet. That's the problem. Ooh. Here we go. Alright, now you're transforming. Okay, break out the trump card when Fubuki is barely at base form. I'm already talking in Dragon Ball terms. The base form, the Super Saiyan form. Alright. Why is she like... Why does her face look like she's having an orgasm when she's transforming? Alright, that's how to give her an upper hand. Gotcha looks cool. And she looks exactly like her grandma in this form. Like, if you look closely, Yume has that same kind of hairstyle that Yumi has right now when she transforms. So that's cool, you know? You can see the resemblance. You can see the genes passing on. Nope. Okay, just kind of like that. That was very abrupt. Not even a white fade-in or anything. So this is HQ. These are like the big bosses of the Shinobi. Kurokage trying to say, please understand. Evil is evil, so we must destroy it. And he's like, you're ignorant. You're a young boy. You're too ignorant. Ignorance is truly a sin. Damn. You're getting schooled by the bosses. He doesn't even know about the... He doesn't even know about the Yoma at this point. He's like, Yoma, what? You see? Everyone is connected. Mingled to form gray. They're flat out saying, like, hey, there are gray areas to this. There's like a common ground to all of this. The main goal of the Shinobi is to kill the Yoma. And the Yoma doesn't give a fuck if you're good or evil. They'll kill you all the same. Oh. That's a pretty badass move from Kurokage, by the way. Just expose all their faces. Face them, face to face. Damn. So either you quit, or we'll fuck over Hanzo and Yuma as well. Just like Yumi, just like what she would do. Okay, well, if you don't want them to touch him, then just quit. And that's what he does, obviously. Is this after he leaves or what? That's something that I never got clear. Like, did he decide that right then and there, or did he just leave with the decision still pending? Oh. And now they're fighting. I mean, I get it, but still. You're just doing the same evil shit that the people that killed your parents are doing. Everybody has some evil in them. Yeah, I mean, I support Hanzo more than Kurokage, but I understand where Kurokage is coming from. Ah, come on, don't waste all that food. Man, this is kind of heartbreaking to watch, even on the second time. Oh no, not the beer bottles. Those were the best ones. Now, who's gonna pay for all the damages? Pure good by being an evil, creepy man. Oh god, the girlfriend saw you. I saw you break those beer bottles. I wanted one. Damn, Hanzo. Yeah, so that's why Fubuki has the thing. She has that because Kurokage gave it to her. Damn, it's all connecting now. Cool. I keep thinking it's Yumi. Yumi's grandma. God, the resemblance is uncanny, isn't it? He parted ways, and that's the last you ever saw of him. Hunted evil ninjas on his own as a renegade. Both good and evil ninjas. Yep, we see that with the Crimson Squad. Both good and evil ninjas go after them. Yeah, man, if you escape that little club, they come and kill you. If you're in it forever. Hey, there we go. Man, Hanzo, the best wingman ever. He's even helping out with the kid. Hanzo was more of a dad than fucking Kurokage was. He just got Yume pregnant and just left. Yeah, baby formula. Look at Hanzo coming in. Hanzo's the best, man. Kurokage should get some notes, be an actual parent, and come and take care of his own kid. He's out there trying to make his perfect world of good and whatever. He's still alive there. I mean, that's obvious. So how many babies are there? So there are 2 kids, right? Raise these kids to be Shinobi. So there are 2. That's something that I was not aware of. Because we know that Yumi's parents die. Like, that's the entire reason for why Kurokage even meets up with Yumi. But do the both of them die? Or just one? I guess both, right? Because if it was only one, I guess Yumi would have gotten picked up by the uncle, I guess. But no, only Kurokage was there. He's here killing the shit out of people. This is really sad to see. I know that it sounds stupid having to, like, let me establish what I feel and what you should feel right now. But, like, this is honestly kind of heartbreaking because you just hear it through almost like narration and stories, you know, through the dialogue in the video games. But to actually see it happen, to actually see, like, Kurokage break down, quit, just kind of go off on his own and try to change the world on his own, and everybody else still really believes in him, you know? And time is passing on, you can already see by his facial hair. Hey, there we go. We got mustache Kurokage. All right, so this is the older Kurokage that we know now. Yeah, I recognize this. They have this in the game as well, like the background of the funeral. Even his wife passed away. And that sucks because we get to see them and now they're dead. Ugh. Just from one moment to the other, they're fucking gone. You must feel like shit now. Yeah, pretty much. They died without you even meeting them once. And here she is. And people said the Senran Kagura was only about titties. There's some legitimately tragic shit that happens here. Sometimes it's better to just leave it in, like, a text box rather than seeing it animated because I just don't. There's some stuff that I think I'd be better off not seeing. She's orphaned, man. This is a really, really cool part of the episode. And the music as well is pretty on point too. This is just on a wholly different level from the last anime. Like, at this point, you can't fucking tell me that the last season of the anime is any better than this. Like, this episode alone completely shits on the last anime, for sure. It completely takes a dump on Ninja Flash. You see, Kurokage turns his back on all the people that loved him, and they still believed in him. So if he doesn't feel like shit now... Yeah, he's crying. You better fucking cry. You fucking left all of those people to die. All of the people that fucking loved you and believed in you even after you left. And now look what happened. All because of your fucking shitty ass. Everybody gave people a super hard time. All of your relatives got like all of the difficult missions and they got ganked on by so many because everybody hated you. And your family had to pay for it. And now all you have left is Yumi. But in a way, this is still good, because, you know, if it weren't for Yumi, he wouldn't have, like, his fucking, like, Grinch moment where his heart grows 3 sizes that day, and he repents, you know? He didn't, you know, change until, like, the very end when he was dying. But he changed. It cost him, like, his entire fucking family, but he changed. Yeah, that whole flashback thing was amazing. Yeah, and now we're back in the present where shit is really hitting the fan. Again, why are they making, like, orgasm faces? Like, the tentacles of darkness. Yeah, he thought she was tough in her regular form. Now she means business. She's obviously not gonna do anything. Wouldn't it be weird if it was like, oh, no, wait, no, I can still beat you. They're being pushed back. Why are they holding down Asuka? Like, she's like, ah! It's weird how they're holding her. Boop, there we go. Done. Just a little bit of wind, and you're naked. 1-hit KO. Boop, right in the middle of the legs. Oh, no, there we go. The bright lights are blinding me. Alright. She got knocked out of her transformation. I remember now. Yeah, of course. I very conveniently remember now. Alright, so just another orphan that... Another orphan that he took in. Yeah, so they live together. So they're not biological sisters. They're just close. What a strange thing to forget. Alright. You're like sisters, not actual sisters. There's too much you don't know. And there we go. That's the kind of the big thing that really gets me excited for the next episode. Declare war on everybody. And Kagura's like, oh, okay. We haven't seen Kagura battle at all yet, so. And she is super duper powerful. So she's like, oh, cool, interesting. That ought to be fun. To destroy the hypocrisy of the Shinobi. Oh, there are the girls. Oh, also, we're here too. Where's everyone else? Now we have 2 really powerful people to deal with. Things just got war. Oh my god, she's huge. I forgot how big she was. Damn. She didn't really look that big down in the dark in that dark room. Blade of Revenge. I mean, she kind of is like the Yoma. She just eliminates both good and evil no matter what. You know, indiscriminately just annihilates everybody. Oh boy. This ending completely doesn't fit at all with with everything that we saw in this episode. Ha. Yeah, this episode was awesome. I am sorry if you were expecting like the entire episode to just be the fight, but there was barely any fighting at all. And that's okay because, you know, The rest of it was a flashback to stuff that we have never seen in the game before. Young Kurokage, young Hanzo, voice acted in their young forms. And then seeing kind of the progression of, Hanzo and Kurokage being friends to kind of no longer being friends because their ideologies kind of clashed a lot. And it was mostly Kurokage's fault for everything, Everything was okay for Kurokage being so extreme. Even Yume, Yume was very much on Hanzo's side. I'm surprised that Hanzo wasn't with Yume, considering how Kurokage was essentially the one and only guy that was causing trouble. Being like, no, we must eliminate all evil. And Hanzo and Yume were like, no, we gotta have a balance. You can't, keep doing the same shitty things that the evil, guys are doing, because one, that doesn't make you any better, and B, you're just propagating the same evil shit that the evil Shinobi are doing. So, you're just feeding into, what they're doing. You're further encouraging them to do it. And then the preview, again, very Avengers portal in the sky, summoning a bunch of Yoma. Don't stop believing. Yeah, so next episode is called Don't Stop Believing. And, apparently a whole bunch of stuff is happening there. And here comes the fan service again. But, in small chunks, it seems. It seems like, So already, just from that last frame, with Katsuragi, Group, and Asuka, you already know that the Hanzo girls are finally going to be freed. That looks like something that's not going to happen until, the very end of the episode. That I can very much, everything that we saw in the preview, I can very much see happening in, the last minute. Where, Fubuki, again, big portal in the sky, Avengers style, summons a bunch of stuff, terrorizes the city, and now what do we do, right? To be continued. And then after that, the Hanzo girls are freed, and now the whole team is back together. We have all 4 factions completed, and, of course, everybody's gonna get together, and they're all gonna fight, what I assume to be an army of Yoma, because she was saying, that she is now declaring war on pretty much everybody that isn't her, Gekko and Senko. So, just the 3 versus everybody. Because I guess she's just pissed off about society, bro. And how, hypocritical it is. She wants true justice in the world, which for her, it means the entire elimination of anything that even counts as evil. So basically you have to, eliminate everyone in the world, because as Hanzo says, everybody has a little bit of evil in them. That's just something that you can't deny. It's a sword and the shield. There's a balance between, good and evil working together. Even the HQ, if you play Senran Kagura 2, Deep Crimson on 3DS, where Kiriya, talks with HQ, they're kind of seen as this really, scary, intimidating, upper, boss shinobi, where, wherever they say goes, and they can, give the order to, get you killed or not killed, and they're the ones that set up the missions, and they give you whatever they want the missions to be, right? Even if they are good shinobi or evil, it's like, oh, go do this, and even if it's some very evil shit, if they assign it to good shinobi, they gotta do it, because if they don't, they get essentially murdered, The one time that you don't follow orders, or the one time that you turn your back on the shinobi, or the path of the shinobi, or the shinobi HQ or whatever, they immediately hunt you down, which is a very, very extremist thing to do. I feel like that in itself is pretty fucking evil. But it's strange because, they also say, good and evil sometimes have to work together. There's that gray area, Ultimately, the big goal of the shinobi is to defeat the Yoma, because the Yoma, they indiscriminately, is like these horrible beasts that just, destroy everything, and we gotta get in there. And you essentially, make a living, not for doing this, by doing missions and assassinations and protecting people and stuff like that. So yeah, is this constant clash between good and evil and good and evil and good and evil. And at some point, there's a middle ground that you can find, and that's Hanzo, that's Asuka, that's all of the girls that we see right now in Senran Kagura. Now, I really would love it if there were, other stories, mangas or something, that took place within the Senran Kagura universe, but not necessarily focused on the Senran Kagura girls. Because it seems like every single time we look at other people that are not the main cast of girls, they are, truly, the examples, that we hear, just by word of mouth. In the game is always oh, these guys killed my parents, or this Yoma cut my mom's head off, or, these guys got killed by evil shinobi and they got tortured or whatever. We always hear about these other ninjas, that do all of this really horrible, heinous shit. And these other ninjas that are heroes, that do this really awesome shit. So I really want to know who those others are, especially now that we can see the faces of the bosses, we can see the faces of the younger, the previous generation, like 2 generations back, we're talking grandfather status. And we haven't even seen, like, the parents, like Yumi's parents, like, what do they do? We're just seeing what the grandparents had back in the day. So I feel like they're really setting up the lore and really expanding on the world and giving it more detail. So I would love it if at some point, I'm not saying now in this series, I'm saying maybe in some future, maybe they expanded on the world a little bit more. They added more characters. It's obvious that they're not afraid of having male characters in here. So, in fact, like, we've seen more male characters in this episode than we have seen in the entire series. So, I think it'd be cool to see maybe have, like, a manga about, like, the adventures of Hanzo, or Kurokage and what he did, to really see what the true evil shinobi are, right? Because all of the girls that we're seeing now are just the elite squad within this school full of shinobi, I always forget that, Hanzo, Gessen, Hebijo, they're all schools that have, like, it's like a whole institution, right? Some of them are just regular-ass students, but a lot of them seem to be shinobi. And the 5 that we always see are just the elite. They're always like the big kahunas that have their own room and their own training ground and their own everything, right? Like, they're the best of the best. So I just want to see what all of the lower echelon shinobi do, right? Because it's always like, no, evil shinobi need to be eliminated because they killed all of my parents and, they did all this horrible stuff. But, like, the only thing that we have to base ourselves on are these other evil shinobi girls that have honestly really not been that bad. In fact, I would argue that they're really good people, but they're just very meat-headed and very, like, one-track mind and very, like, brute force-ish about their goals, basically. That's what I see, at least, with the 5 characters that are there. And, but there's definitely, like, whenever there's a group of nice people, there's always, like, the one fucking guy that has to ruin everything and muddy the water for everybody, right? For every classroom, there always has to be that one troublemaker that ruins the fun for everybody, and the teacher punishes everybody because one asshole fucking ruined everything, right? So, I feel like that's something that we're still lacking in Senran Kagura, right? Just from hearing, like, oh, my parents and my friends got killed by evil shinobi, why should I stand here and do nothing, right? And let them live. I get it, like, I totally understand. But on the other hand, I also agree with Hanzo a lot more, where it's like, no, we can't keep propagating all this hate. Because, again, if you have this perspective of if they hit you, you hit them back, well, why would you assume that they wouldn't hit you back as well, right? So it's just this, like, thing constantly, and it never ends until everyone is dead. So, like, you're just setting yourself up for this infinite battle where, like, no one wins because everybody's constantly killing each other. And what happens if you have kids? Like, you think that they're gonna get off the hook? No. Like, they're gonna know that, these are Kurokage's kids, and fuck Kurokage, so kill them. Like, you're affecting other people around you, and you see that by having the funeral where there's no one there but just your granddaughter, where, like, your wife is dead, and, your wife's kids are also dead, just the granddaughter. That's literally all that's left because of your stupid ass that, decide, you were so self-righteous. No, I'm gonna create a better world. But you actually made it worse. So, you should have listened to Hanzo. World's best wingman. We know Hanzo right now as, like, this pervy old man, as, like, this Master Roshi kind of guy, where he knows his shit, but he's all out there creeping on girls all the time. But when you see him, like, as a young guy, I was almost, like, assuming, like, oh, maybe I can pull the moves on Yume or something, just based on what I know from Hanzo now. But he is a very noble, really nice, great guy, He didn't have to take care of the kid in Kurokage's place, But, Hanzo was there, giving baby food to Yume, hey, how's Kurokage doing? Have you heard anything about him? Like, he fucking, like, stayed his ground, he kept his distance, but he was there supporting Yume all the way. And I feel like he didn't have to do it, but he absolutely totally did. And I guess, yeah, I remember, I think in Estival versus, they were saying, like, Kurokage and Hanzo were fighting over Sayuri at some points. So yeah, I guess, after Kurokage settled down with Yume, Hanzo's like, well, Sayuri's mine. Here we go. So, again, we don't really see a lot of Hanzo's life. This is all Kurokage on Kurakage's end. So, maybe at this point, he's already with Sayuri, at that point in the story where he's shown all really young and stuff. But yeah, I would like to see Sayuri as well, young Sayuri. Obviously, she just looks like Jasmine. So, I feel like if they did a flashback once, I'm so up for seeing more of that, a whole anime, if I can have like a full like 12 episodes of just young Hanzo and young Sayuri, doing all that shit, I'd be happy, I'd be down. I am not against male characters, in the anime and stuff, and I know that, you can still have your fan service, right? And again, exactly from like what happened last episode, a lot of story, basically all story, 100%, and like 2% of it was the fan service. I feel like at this point in the story, now that it's getting more interested, they gotta keep it that way, just like 90% of it is story and 10% just sprinkle it around with some fan service, It doesn't have to be all like Mario Party mini game. Oops, I'm in my bikini and transparent clothes. We've had enough of that, and I feel like the anime knows that. The entire half was like this senseless fucking like whatever, okay, here's your fan service, and they got it out of their system early just so that the rest of it is all story. So I really do hope that it stays that way, because the anime got exponentially better. And I'm seeing the comments on the, nobody comments on the censored version, by the way. If you go into the uncensored video on Crunchyroll, you see a lot of comments, and people who are saying, like, I was just expecting titties, but like, wow, this actually has like a decent story. Like, there are people there that are like admitting that, like, holy shit, man, this is actually kind of legit. So, fine, I'm so happy. It makes you really happy because, again, there's always like the one guy, right, where like you try and explain the Senran Kagura is good, and they're like, oh yeah, good cover, dude. Like, people think that you're just some fucking, dirty pervert that wants to make excuses to like just beat off to it. And I'm like, I don't need to make excuses for that, like, I can just say, no, yeah, I like it. The girls are hot. Whatever. Don't at me, But it also has a good story, right? You don't see me talking about fucking Dead or Alive Extreme 3 all the time, right? Or Bullet Girls all the time. Or Arcana Heart. Or any of those other fanservice games all the time, right? There's a reason for why I talk about this so much more than all those other games. There's a reason for why this game has a mobile game, it has 2 animes, it has a bunch of manga for it, and it has a bunch of merchandise for it, it has a shit ton of games, and they all sell really well, and a billion spinoffs. Like, this is a whole franchise, right? There's a reason for why Senran Kagura is a franchise, and all the other games are, like, super niche. You get 1 game, maybe 2, So there's something here, and I love it. It makes me really happy that the people in the comments really are starting to see that with these very story-heavy episodes. But yeah, Katsurai's back in the next episode, so maybe you'll get a good, fan service section there towards the end, and that's fine. I'm really liking how this anime is shaping up. I was about to say, like, if by episode 7 is still, like, plinky plonky, funny fan service, and then, like, the last 30 seconds is just story, like how it had been going for, like, episode 1 to 6. Well, actually, episode 6 was also really good. Episode 1 to 5, yeah, from 1 to 5, it was kind of like the same thing over and over again, and I was kind of getting sick of it, and you can see it in my reaction. But episode 6 was good, and episode 7 was great. So, my expectations are getting a little higher now. I know precisely now what I want to get into with all these other episodes. Assuming that, that this is 12 episodes, again, based on how the rhythm of the story has been going, maybe it might be 12. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were a little bit more beyond this point, because I feel like they're just barely starting the story, The entire thing was just setting up for the tournament, and now we're actually getting into fights, and now it seems like, Fubuki's gonna go out into the real world and really start fucking shit up out there. So, yeah. I really can't wait. I am fucking excited to see what we're gonna see next week. So, if you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did, then be sure to give this video a like. Again, this was my second viewing, and it was still really fun, even if it's not my first time watching this episode, I still liked it a lot. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it, give me a like, and of course, you can subscribe, hit that bell icon. You can comment whatever you want, and all social media links are down in the description down below. And follow me wherever suits you best. Of course, there's a Discord, and there's a channel there where we can, talk about the Senran Kagura episodes and a whole bunch of other stuff in addition. So, thank you, and I will see you guys next week for another episode of Senran Kagura Shinobi Masters, catch you there.